Hello everyone, this is East the Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Heroes. Let's just get straight into it. Of course, this week it's Earth season, so we're goofballing with old school Turn 1 Glacies Legendary Julia, and of course, Bramlon's still +9. Seems +9 out of 10, man. Here we go, we start off the week with a full +10 team here. See what they do. Haven't watched this one yet, and in general I'm not really watching my replays as much now, just more looking at the macro high level results. And here it looks like Makai is just going to one round KO Bramlon. Pretty straightforward. It's not like Bramlon's ever going to do a lot of damage because Makai also gets the damage reduction, so... And with Glimmer, she's just going to easily tear through Bramamond. And looks like they're just going to hit and turn. And we all know how this is going to go. Even though I haven't watched this replay, we all know what's happening here. Legendary Julia is just going to obliterate Dagger with Glacies. Actually not by a large margin, because of course there was dodge from Dual Erica. But nonetheless still a one-shot. And because of that, it looks like, yep, they just end up surrendering, because they can definitely roll teams with these kind of offense teams. And well, I'm not sure what it is with Xander, but apparently we're seeing more Xanders than I really feel like we probably should be. His Refine definitely made him more useful, it's just that it's just not enough. It is huge to be able to deny follow-up attacks, but he doesn't really get much more than that in a little extra stat swing, basically. And for very early free-to-play sword cav, or just melee cav in general, and this day and age, you probably need quite a bit more than that. It's a bit unfortunate, but looks like they're going to use Bolt Tower here to take out Bramamond. And are they just going to try and leave like everyone so far, aka one person so far? No, they actually go straight in, which definitely cannot end well. That's for sure. I guess they were trying to bait Not with Freya, but clearly that's not going to happen when air is a juicier target. And well, we get to pick up another kill. Thanks to the dance from Nils, Sylvia is isolated, so that's going to be it for this turn. Okay. Dagger one-shots Not before Not one-round KOs her back. And, well, Bramamond's probably going to take care of Milla here. Makes sense. And just complete obliteration. That's not even a word, I don't think. Actually, it might be a word. I'm too brain dead to know. But yeah, this week's pretty standard stuff. And here, Freya... doesn't really matter how much damage reduction she has if she takes too much base damage, because her HP is just not high enough to support the damage reduction. So Ripperoni's here. She pretty much needs around like, I don't know, like around 70 to 80% damage reduction with that much HP to be super strong, but yeah. Xander here, able to tank Selif's Ignis, and well, Selif tanks the Bonfire, but not looking great here. Xander's actually able to exactly one-shot Bramamond, totally not rigged. And well, imagine Nils can pick up the kill, or not. I guess he just survives, so... that's a thing, and I'm guessing that Self probably can pick up the kill at this point, although he is gonna be a little close. Now there's Vantage Self against Dagger, and that's probably not a great matchup, so Ripperonis. But honestly, out of the few replays I watched this week, there were some pretty cool ones. Stuff you should probably see if you ever run into my team, just so you have more ideas on how to tackle my meme defense. Level 9 infantry school definitely hurts. You don't need infantry school to take out this team, but there's some really fun things people did this week. Well, some of them are not practical for the average player, but interesting ideas. Looks like they're just gonna take out Bramon with Guinevere here. Makes sense, you know, she's a mage killer against Legendary Julia. All you have to worry about is Glaci's forehead. And, you know, we're debuffed by infantry school. What could possibly go wrong?
This feeling, this power.
And, well, Guinevere does survive, but she doesn't kill on the counter either, so that's not good. Of course, we don't have Wings of Mercy to follow up, but, Not can just pick up the kill on Guinevere now. And, yeah, let's just say that infantry school is kind of necessary for Guinevere to survive. But Legendary Julia now goes for her revenge kill on Peony. And, well, Bramon gets to teleport in with Wings of Mercy because Guinevere was unable to one-shot Legendary Julia. And Ripperonis. That did not pause the video. Alright, looks like here it's probably near save Winter Zephiel. Haven't watched this one either. Lots of people have column 4 Bolt Tower this time around. It is a popular column. It's always a gamble between 3 and 4 where we want to place our catapult. For this particular map, it's easier to protect the column 3 catapult from turn 1 snipe downs, but it's still possible to snipe down the catapult. Turn 1 against my particular layout, especially since there's no one that actually threatens the range tile. The tile you can break the catapult from, like right here where Peony is, no one actually targets that, so if you can just get someone there to break the catapult, you're fine. Looks like they decided to activate the bolt trap, which definitely was not the greatest idea, so they decided to run, but we all know what happens when people run. It's just going to be an Omega Nuke here from Legendary Julia. 96. Only a 46 damage Glacies. Not enough. Feels bad. Like, it might seem like a lot, but especially against damage reduction and whatnot, you just need a massive amount of damage. Maybe I should try Astra Legendary Julia. AoE Legendary Julia wasn't terrible, it just wasn't great. I think I kind of want to try Astra for the memes. It would be terrible in the matchups where we're already losing and the matchups we're already winning would just be absolute overkill. Yeah, I don't know about that one. This team I liked a lot. This was a really cool team to run into. Plus 3 Peony like us. This plus 10 Jenny, that's plus speed. This is kind of like the set I would run, except maybe I wouldn't run attack speed ideal. But, you know, Dazzling Staff ideal is pretty solid, as long as you can get a bonus on yourself. But yeah, I run plus speed Jenny myself, but she's only like plus 1 or plus 2, so we have a long way from Turbo Jenny being a thing. But this quite invested Leo here. You don't see too many invested original Leos around, but this is a speed set, and it definitely works pretty decently. What is that? 43, 47, and then effectively 51, 54, and can be 58, and even more with peony and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. Not ultra fast, but definitely can play your hit and run with far trace. So definitely an option. Wonder what they're gonna use Leo here for. I say that as I've already watched the replay. I just don't actually remember. I remember what happens for the most part, but I forget what Leo does. Alright, so Jenny just takes out Seliph. Of course, Divine Tearfing does not work against staff units, so Jenny's just going to wreck face. She's one of the hardest hitting healers in the game. Her just raw attack stats pretty insane. Leo's able to take out Brown on it, I guess. That's pretty cool. Probably gonna take quite a bit of damage here though, because Luna does quite a bit. Yeah. But Moonbow, way more than enough to pick up the kill, especially since he already had the attack stat to kill. Now you can just far trace out, yeah. And because they hit gravity on us, and because of how the AI works, Not's gonna move to the right, but Bramon gets to attack Jenny, but because Jenny was able to attack twice, she's going to get to proc Miracle here, which is super clutch. Of course, if we had Wings of Mercy follow-up, this wouldn't work, because Jenny being at 1 HP likely isn't going to take 0 damage from, say, Sylvia, but we don't have Wings of Mercy, and Sylvia is hit by gravity, so they can just capitalize on that. Jenny just wreaking havoc 35 times 2. And Jenny just straight up nuking Not as well. Granted, I don't think Not was buffed by attack speed menace. I don't think it would have mattered. Jenny too powerful. And now it's just the dancers remaining, and they're not going to be doing anything. Yeah, I don't know. Even Pulse Tie is definitely the skill on this defense that is just kind of a meme, but when it works, it works. But it just does not do anything most of the time. So I feel like I should just toss it out for Wings of Mercy, but we'll just keep goofballing with it. It gets people once in a while. But yeah, just a solid clear here using Jenny. Gravity is super solid. Of course, against knots and stuff with Pathfinder, gravity can only do so much, but it can definitely be clutch if you can pull it off. And especially for turn here, you can actually hit and run with your healer, which is pretty solid. And well, looks like we got a far save, I would imagine, on Henriette. Doesn't look like they have any near save shenanigans. So I'm not sure what they're planning to do here. But in my opinion, hitting end turn with your far save unit against like turn 1 Glacier's Legendary Julia just does not sound like a good time. Legendary Julia, of course, is blue. She has light and dark, so you can't use any field buffs against her, except for visible stuff to like prevent Virtuous Naga from giving Legendary Julia +6 attack and res, you know, but Legendary Julia has, in this case, looks like she can get up to 58 player phase res, so Henriette's not going to be doing a lot of damage, if at all any damage. I guess there's the debuffs and stuff as well, but Claude here against Seliph. Seliph, of course, is never going to one-shot, especially through the damage reduction, but looks like they're just going to use Claude to take out Not now. And he has Fallen Star active for the 80% damage reduction. And Henriette's going to survive Seliph by 1. Excellent job, Seliph. 10 out of 10. Feels bad, man. That's so rigged. Here, Julia's got Glacies ready, but of course with the 80% damage reduction, he's definitely surviving.
I won't back down.
But doing 20 damage is quite a bit through 80% damage reduction. Unfortunately, Bramamon's here to say hi.
I won't lose.
And as Bramon said, I won't lose, so kabooey.
But it's up to you now.
So, Legendary Claude is a rip, and Peony's now rip as well. Bramon just doing Bramon things.
Sleep.
I know some people say Bramon is not a threat anymore, but given my offense team, I just can't. I can't agree with that. I know against some teams, you know, Bramon's completely useless. All he really is just 1v1 me with Impenetrable Dark, and he just has an attack stat. I actually don't. His Bramon's Void Tome proc condition for the guaranteed follow-up is kind of garbo, because a lot of tanks are on the slower side, and so let's say some of them neutralize penalties. So there's just no way for the Bramon to double unless he runs null follow-up, which means he's not running low attack res, which is a huge problem, but that's Bramon in a nutshell. And here we go with this team. This is actually this is probably the funniest clear ever. A very clever, super solid team. You can see the heavy merges in general, except on Uller. She is kind of new, so they don't even have Deadeye on her. But maybe they want to use Luna, because Deadeye only works well if you actually do damage, so Luna can be helpful in that respect. But they just go in turn 1 to take out Seliph, because, well,
His Majesty's name.
Selena is just going to obliterate him, of course, especially since she's doubling. And that just screws over the infantry pulse ladder. So this is always something, whenever you run into an infantry pulse thing, the number one thing you should check to see is if you can meme the infantry pulse ladder. And if so, if it's a good idea to, aka if you go in like that, are you overextended and can the enemy still kill you kind of a deal. But they're just going on a rampage here. Not much our team can do here. There's also the safety fence thing. Safety fence is kind of interesting. I should probably build it just because it costs, what is it, 500 Heavenly Dew or whatever, and maybe use it, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like safety fence doesn't solve the problem for me, because sure, like, especially in, say, Astro season with the turn 1 shenanigan teams, or even during light season this week, we had quite a few turn 1 shenanigan teams. It doesn't really help us because we get one turn to do something like setup or whatever, but then it's still gonna go off turn 2. I guess in that case, for the odd recovery teams, you know, they don't have anti-isolation anymore, but I don't really know. It's fine as a structure, I just don't feel like it's useful enough for my particular offense team to justify running it, because that means taking up a whole nother structure slot, and that screws over space. And for a Garbo team like mine, you kind of just need all the space and advantages you can get, so not sure if we're ever going to use safety fence. I guess if it's bonus eventually, then we'll use it, but other than that, I'm not sure. And here we go again. Haven't watched this replay or any of the remaining replays, aka this replay and the next replay. So let's see what they got here. Guinevere again, because we got triple mages, makes sense. Of course, Legendary Julia is probably just a recurring problem for Guinevere. That's pretty standard. You probably have to player phase to do that. So they do player phase here. So they didn't do it turn 1, so we still have our specials up on all our other units. Of course, Elf is never going to survive when he gets doubled like that. And it looks like they're just going to leave. Which is okay. Makes sense. You're gonna get the dance here, you know, no one's gonna be able to attack, but now what? Guinevere's not in a great spot. She can get flung in here, but there's too many threats. There's not 2 Bramamons, Legendary Julia. It's a bit too much. They don't have enough actions to take care of everyone because it's not like Air is going to 1v1 Legendary Julia, not a chance. Bramon looks like he's up to go against Guinevere here, and Guinevere does not have a lot of HP at this point, so Luna is going to take her out. Kind of a close margin, but given it's Luna, not really. And Julia, speaking of close margins, totally going to have a close margin against Versa. Totally. Yeah, that's just a rip. They do manage to pick up the 1-1 KO on Julia though, and they can take out Sylvia. Alright. I guess they can take out Gramamond, I would imagine. Because Knott's got Tempest up, so that's just a free kill. And it's just Nils left. And it's towards the end of the season, so don't need the Aether structures.
You won't suffer.
But you know, they could have broken it for flex value, but they just chose not to. And for now, this is the last replay. What in the world is this team? I'm already confused. There's 3 dancers, duo Micaiah. What is this team doing? I'm not sure. Oh, it's close counter advantage. Did not expect that. So I guess their plan with the triple dancers is to nuke some units with Micaiah and then advantage the rest. That's interesting. I think the number 1 problem, of course, is going to be Legendary Julia, because she has HP stat and a res stat. I guess not might be a problem. We do have the free bolt trap with free vantage range, but I don't think without... I guess with the duo skill, duo Micaiah could reasonably one-shot, right? I don't know. Yeah. It's actually kind of interesting. They also have infantry school on the column 5, so I guess it's feasible for duo Micaiah to pick up the one-shot. I'm just not sure what they're going to do afterwards, because they're not using dominance on all the relevant units they would need to. They would need to use it on like column 3, to be honest. Yeah, they only use it on Legendary Julia here, and given its dominance, they barely pick up the one shot there. And of course, Not has, well, not a lot of res and HP, so you're just gonna get obliterated by Glimmer. And now there's Panic. Micaiah, see the problem here is Divine Tear Fiend exists. So she can't ever actually one-shot the guy. She would need to do a lot of damage. What is that, 144 damage or something? To pick up the one-shot against Divine Tear Fiend. So yeah, not even Dominance could get you that far. That's just a massive amount of damage needed. And well, I guess everything goes downhill from here, because there's a Vantage Celis that says hi with Ignis. So, yep, that's a rip. And with that, that's currently all the replays for this week. I imagine we might get one more if someone wants to rematch or something, because we already have our final overall defense results for the week that we did spoil in the offense. the latest Ether Raids offense episode. But yeah, with that, we've already dropped quite a few ranks since that previous video, but we'll see if it's top 1k. It'll probably be relatively close. Resonant Battles, we've already seen this. Nothing too special there. Arena built a +10 pala just to make fishing life easier. That's pretty much it. I don't know why I have ally support with Hershey, but sure. Yeah. She's been doing alright. She did alright in Arena. Wings of Mercy is actually quite useful quite a few times because a lot of times Crom gets into 1 or 2 combats and then he's in Wings of Mercy range. And with the change fate, you can pivot units around pretty fast. So that was nice. Other than that, she was too slow because there's no speed investment here. Decided to go plus attack because I'll be using her in Arena Assault, where it's probably more important for us to have an attack stat rather than speed stat, because especially with TA, your attack scaling is pretty important. And you know, Julia doing her job against a lot of Grimas this week. Grima, since she's a bonus, has been around quite a bit, and she was definitely quite a troublesome unit in Arena Assault because, of course, all your units start out 100% HP. So Dragon Skin 2 procs gives her +6 to all stats. Expiration Refine gives her +4 to all stats. Speed Resurine gives her an extra, effectively 4 speed. So she gets like +14 speed out of her kit. And you know, there's a seal slot, you can toss in more speed. So she was quite speedy in a lot of matchups, and we basically either had to one-shot her or stall her out pretty much. And the ladder was non-trivial because it's Earth and Fire. So for our particular Blessing Core, they didn't have too much for Earth and Fire. We typically don't. A lot of deadweight units nowadays. I should probably filter them out and toss them into a group, just so I don't have to clutter my barracks looking at them, because I don't use a lot of the units I have blessed nowadays for Arena Assault, just because usually nowadays in Arena Assault time is of the essence. You can't just stall forever because there's lots of range threats. So you just gotta be able to nuke really fast. And speaking of nuke really fast, Mjolnir Strike had to give Bremamon and Peony Ether. Even though I gave my original free-to-play Peony Ether, I am keeping her separate from this merged Peony just for historical value. I don't know what the word is off the top of my head. It's just to remember the good old days, I guess. So with that, we're able to bump our light major score from 854 to 856, and as we can see, looks like 856 is probably going to hold, but we'll see. There's still going to be a whole entire day after this day for people to do Mjolnir Strike, so it might stay, it might not. But regardless, we're never staying in Dark Major unless people just don't play. So every other major season we have set light major. We basically just need to keep merging Milla or Peony, and if we max merge Milla, she becomes useful over here, I believe. Max merging Peony would also work, but yeah, we have quite a bit of work to do there if we want to meme and stay in tier 21 Mjolnir Strike every season. Free to play, by the way, for the memes again. That's the only reason we're doing that. But anyways, we'll be back if there's any more replays. Probably will have to be just no audio again, just because of how things are scheduled up nowadays for my work and whatnot. But otherwise, if not, we'll be back when the results drop in. Alright, long day, but looks like we barely skidded by into top 1k. I knew it was about that range, so fortunately we're on the other side of top 1k rather than the lower side. I meant to say upper, not lower. But yeah, this week we do have Plumerias, so we don't have water season for Crom. Fiorma's bonus, but it's not water season, so I'm sure we're gonna see lots of legendary Claudes. We're gonna have to move out some structures for Armored School and whatnot. Let's just do it here before I forget. Yep. Still not entirely sure what we're going to do about this defense yet. Let's just do this and call it a day. Seems good. And let's see, Resonant Battles, back up to interval 20. And Arena, pretty sure we stayed in. We had plenty of ranks to spare, and it's just a good reference for us for this season. Not expecting it to be too difficult. We just gotta put in the effort, and we should be able to get another crown, I guess. That doesn't really matter too much. So that's gonna be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. As always, this is Ether Dragon, and hope to see you all next time. Bye.